What up?
What up? What
Hold on,
up? What
Lucario.
up? He got to hit him with the red shades tonight.
Tony Stark.
Excuse me, 1 second. Somebody had a birthday. They got to hit us with the red shades tonight.
Yeah. These lights be too bright, you gotta put something on. You know what I'm
Crazy,
saying?
man.
This shit is a little bright out here.
It is a little bright. Yo, Lucario, man, you've had some heat this week, man. People are coming for your neck. What's going on?
Nah, man, they not coming for me. They just, sometimes when you say real stuff, people who like to talk about fake stuff,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they have cognitive dissonance. They don't want to actually adhere to reality. It's unfortunate, but that's just how it is. You know what I'm saying?
Now, my whole thing was I was cool with the debate. I was cool with it. It's when he got insulting, though.
Yeah, but
so it's like we're gonna have an actual. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's what people do when they are at a loss for words because they know that they're not really saying nothing. So then they gotta basically turn the direction of the conversation to nonsense. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's like a defensive mechanism.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Right. Because he was hitting some points, and then when he called him an idiot, and then Lucario's like, "Never in your life."
Right.
Hey.
Because I be trying to stay calm, you know what I mean? But it's just like these guys, the internet makes people tough. So,
Crazy.
It reminds me of that one thing you said, Lucario. It was it was like basically to have one thing is to say you have the other thing.
Right.
So like to speak truth is to say there's fakeness. There's going to be people who are going to go against it. And I want to say shout out to Lucario because I was on your Media Mondays.
I remember.
Yeah, stay in your place.
That's what's up. Yeah.
Don't be surprised before we get started with the show. Don't be surprised, Lucario, that Brian hits you up on the whatever podcast.
Oh yeah, that'll be dope. But I don't think they're not ready for no real shit. I don't think they're ready. But that'll be
okay. They gotta protect the
cool
brand.
Yeah, exactly. But he loves the challenges though. He thrives off of it though. He lives for that shit.
That's the best part about all that shit. Is like fucking when it's against it and then they want you to be a part of it. It's like okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be a part of this shit.
Right.
Just have a good debate, and that's what the fuck I like is like having actual conversations. Like, of course, we're gonna get heated, but I like that shit. Like, we have differences, and I think that's good.
Right, right. When it doesn't go off course, I'm all for an open forum, but it's like let's not insult each other. You know what I mean? Just because I'm winning the debate, that's pretty much it. All right, gentlemen. So it's a late night. I don't want to hold you up. So tonight's topic is why do I complain about women? It's just crazy. Why do we? So it's like So why do men complain about women? We'll start with Isaac, and then Lucario, I'll kick it over to you before I get started with my notes.
I need entertainment in my life. I'm speaking of perspective of them. I need entertainment. I don't have no control over my life, so I complain about women. And that's a big part of why I think why people complain about women is because it goes deeper than just like the surface of seeing that, oh man, I can't do this about women. This woman's not doing this for me, or I can't get women. It's you're basically saying that you don't have some control of yourself. So you need something to complain about. Or you need some entertainment. Because some dudes could get some women. But even the ones who get pussy, they still complain about women because they just need something in their life to keep them going and shit.
Definitely. Appreciate that. Go ahead, Lucario.
Basically, the thing that I notice with a lot of guys, when they complain about women is it's usually from guys who have an issue because their reality doesn't reflect what they actually want when it comes to dealing with women. So the thing is that the complaints happen because they have a certain reality, whereas the guys who don't complain have a totally different reality. So the thing is the reason why it seems as if you hear, like there's so much complaining going on is because most guys, their reality is women don't like them like that. So most dudes, this is why when you look on the internet, most of the content is complaining about women because most guys in reality don't have the type of reality where women actually like them and it's beneficial to them as men to be dealing with women. So it's one of these things where you know, like, for example, the most of the population are not rich. So you're going to hear most of the population complain about like, oh, things are too expensive, the rent is too high, whatever, because the mass is like that. That's the reality,
Mm.
right? And so the people who don't complain about it or don't worry about the price a lot are the people who have a lot of money because they're just like, well, I'm good. You feel what I'm saying? Same thing with relationships. If you're in a relationship or your relationships that you have with these women are beneficial to you, you're going to be doing little to no complaining. And the thing is this: sometimes what happens is that the guys who have game or who have access to a lot of women, they'll still complain, but it'll be like you know, like what they call them, like good
Like
problems,
player
as they say.
problems.
Yeah, exactly. They'll
Mm.
be like, oh man, I got, you know, this chick want to see me today, and I get this other girl, you know, blah blah blah, or I just got too many of them. That's the complaints that guys who
That's some
have
real
women,
shit. Yeah.
the guys who don't have women, it's always an issue. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Yeah.
So it seems like pretty much you guys are saying that even with us having this topic of discussion, it's just going to be ongoing.
Right.
Guys are always going to find some type of
Always.
excuse, the reasoning. Okay, the
Right.
reasoning behind it. Now, before I move on with my notes, and then I'll kick it to Isaac. Isaac, do you believe it's a fear or a scarcity mindset, and it's just easier to complain instead of just facing reality?
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Like that's the. I mean, that's really the biggest point. I think is like complaining is a coping mechanism. You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
I'm complaining about this and that because I don't want to face the fact that I'm just not like that. You know what I mean? But that's the first step is to get you to there is to be like, I'm not like that. This is my reality and this is what it is. So it's most definitely that here's the thing. How you do one thing is how you also do every other thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, you could be great in your status, wherever the fuck, but you had to stay with women, but they running the shit on you and you complain on them. So there's something also that's translating in these different ways. So hell yeah.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
definitely true.
Lucario.
What was the question again?
So do you think so? Is it out of a scarcity or fear of something? So it's just easier for you to complain and just make excuses?
Yeah. Well, the thing is that sometimes what happens is for a lot of these guys, they complain also too because they want to be able to sort of get other people to feel sorry for them. And it's a weird thing too, because you got to understand,
Yeah.
sometimes
Crazy.
people complain because they want the attention and they think or hope the attention will give them some sort of leeway to get what they want. So a lot of guys, for example, on the internet, they complain about women because they hope women will hear the complaints, and they think the woman or hope the woman will change because they're hearing the complaining. So this is what they think. They think if I bitch and moan about women, hopefully women will hear the bitching and moaning, and that will make them change because now they're hearing the guys say, "Oh, wow, you know, these guys don't like when we do A, B, and C, so maybe we should change and not do those things or do the things they want to do." But that's not how it works, because what happens is once a guy complains, that is the thing that makes the woman say, "Oh, so you're the guy I should stay away from because you're a loser." You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So you're basically doing the opposite of what you're really trying to make happen. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Pity
gotcha.
party.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Isaac, if you wanted to expound, go ahead before I get into
No,
my
I
notes.
was
It's up
just
to you, buddy.
saying a pity party because like even on top of that, it's like a lot of guys think that. I remember there was this one dude, right? He was like, girl, you know, women love when you just complain and you have all these problems, you're all emotional and shit. And I'm like, bro, I don't think so. Like I don't like, and we had a debate, but he was so fixated on it. I'm like, those are the people I can't talk to a brick wall. But he was like, yeah, man, like girls love sad boys, you know what I mean? If I just got all these things going on, they gonna like me. And I was just like, bro, this is not it. But hey, live your life. So
Mm,
yeah, fucking
yeah,
pity party.
definitely. Definitely. I appreciate that, gentlemen. Thank you for expounding on that. All right, so we always go into the definition for the topic. So the definition of complaining, the expression of dissatisfaction or annoyance about something. So side notes and questions. Fellas, what are the main reasons behind men complaining about women? And is it warranted for the men to complain about certain things with women? We'll kick it off with Lucario first. First question, Lucario. Um, can you give me some main reasons behind the complaining about women, and is it warranted behind the complaining?
Yeah, one of the reasons I would say is guys not being able to get sex or feeling like they're being strung along and not getting sex after being strung along for, you know, an extended period of time. So a lot of times guys they complain because they feel like women are playing games, and, you know, they're wasting their time, and, oh, you know, she played me. We went out 3 times and she said, you know, she just wanted to be friends, but I spent all this money and time. So a lot of guys sort of feel like they get the short end of the stick. And that's one of the, I think, the big complaints that a lot of guys will have at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. And then my part 2 question was, is it warranted behind the complaining?
No, because the thing is that I always tell guys, listen, whatever you have, or whatever experience you have is based on the what you've done as a man. So whatever you're doing, you're leading. So you led her to you know, play you. You led yourself in the friend zone. You're the one who did it. So you can't really, it's not warranted, because a woman can only do what a man allows. You know what I'm saying? So if you allow it, then that's what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
Get you. Appreciate it. Isaac, kick it off to you. Main reasons behind the complaining, and is it warranted?
Lack of influence and control, and it's definitely it's not well, warranted. You mean it like, is it like you're supposed to?
Like, is it like justified? Like, does it make sense?
No, I mean, it makes sense to them, but it doesn't make sense in general. So no, I think it's just when I say lack of influence or lack of control, I think it's just because, again, from what I said from the beginning, is that for control is that if you are not in control of yourself and the things that you do, you're gonna seek something outside of you and try to control that. So that would be what you think that you're supposed to do, but when it doesn't happen, now you're spiraling and shit. And then lack of influence is that you just don't have any leadership. You know what I mean? She doesn't want these things. She's going against the grain. She's shit testing you all the time and shit. Like, she's just going against that. So it's like, okay. And warrant to know is definitely, it is justified. I would say so, just because, like, everything is you. Like, this life is you. Everything, every choice, every intention, every decision is you. Of course, the things outside of you, oh my gosh, she just got hit by a bus. What do I do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Like, you can't control what's outside this world, but what you lead on to what's happening, hell yeah, that's all you. It's all
definitely. I like that approach on that, Isaac. I did like that you took a different approach with is it warranted, because you're seeing it from both perspectives, and I like that. I appreciate that. So I mean, because we have to please the masses somehow. Anyway. But I like it, though. All right, guys. So we're going to go to favorite articles. Remember, Lucari, I always get yelled at when I do my article time. It's not me. I know, right? That's crazy. An article by Matt Hillard Fraud. The number one problem men have with women is we try to be the problem solvers when our partners are not happy or satisfied, when we don't put enough work in. As men, we want to be the problem solvers. All right, so side note's a question. So, does this, fellas, coincide with having leadership? And hearing this article that I've just read, is that a form of being submissive in one's relationship or partnership? Lucario. So we're supposed to be the problem solvers. That is the number one complaint. So does that coincide with our leadership? And saying that, being a problem solver, does that coincide with also being submissive within one's relationship?
No, well, the thing is, I don't think guys should complain about being problem solvers, because that is your position as a man. Like, you're supposed to be the one who, you know, makes the situation be beneficial not only for you but for the women you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And so what happens is that I wouldn't say it's a submissive thing, like, because the thing is, when you're solving problems with people, but I wouldn't even say it's a submissive thing, because if your mission or your program is to create situations that's going to be beneficial for you and your woman, then that means you're leading, which means that that's not submissive, because submissive just means that you're under, you know, someone else's mission, right? So if it's your mission to be a problem solver, then it's not going to be submissive to solve a woman's problems, or I should say, you're not necessarily solving the woman's problems. What you're doing is you're creating a space for you and her to actually thrive. Because the thing is, if you're looking at it in the sense of, well, a woman has a problem and I'm just going to be here to solve her problem, then what's really happening is that you actually have a problem, because the reason why she has a problem is because you're not leading. You see what I'm saying? So if you were leading, there would be no problems in the situation in the first place. So if she has problems, that means there's a problem with your leadership, which is why the problem there is exists in the first place. It's crazy.
Gotcha. Before I kick it off to you, Isaac, I just want to expound on this real quick. But it seems like, Lucario, real quick, that the article is coming from a place of, again, fear.
Mm-hmm.
If I am not the problem solver, she will not be satisfied. And in terms, hence, will leave this. She will be able to leave the relationship and the partnership.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can't figure out what's wrong with my woman, then there is no point for her to even stick around.
Mm-hmm.
Now, would that coincide with having no leadership, and then would that also coincide with your being submissive to the woman, or it's still the same deal?
Yeah, well, I would say this: if the guy's worried about her leaving, then that's an issue. Meaning, like, if he's worried about that, then that within itself is the thing that he's fearing. Like, that's the fear that he has, that she's going to leave if I don't solve these problems. And if that's the issue, then it's not necessarily being submissive to try to solve the problem, but it's more so because you have that fear. That's the thing that's going to make the issue even worse, because you're fearing the situation instead of actually facing the problem head on, or facing the situation head on to make sure everything is good. So a lot of times that whole fear of the woman leaving is the issue, because if you were doing what you need to do and she still leaves, that's okay if you are grounded in you doing what you know you were supposed to do, or the things that you wanted to do anyway.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So if she leaves after that, then that's on her, and it's not a big deal, because you've already done your part as a man to do the things you know needed to be done. You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you. Isaac, it's on you, buddy. So hearing this article, would that, if you agree or disagree with, and I want you to bear in mind, because you don't have to agree. If there is disagreements that you have, look at it from a different perspective as well, Isaac. That's what the panel's all about.
Of course.
But just to let you know. But do you look at it as being the problem solver for your woman in the relationship? Does that coincide with leadership? And also, too, does that fall under the lines of being submissive to the woman within the relationship?
I want to point this out. No, it definitely coincides with leadership, but I want to point out why they think it's they complain about it is because they say I got to try, or I have to be something. You know what I mean? It's like if you put yourself in a position to say I got to have it, I got to try it, you're already like going against yourself, basically, because you think that you need to be something in order to be this thing. So that is already a double negative, because if you shouldn't try or have when you already are,
right?
And it just happens, and through the process you're already gonna get it. Shit, fuck it, you fail, lesson, of course, you know what I mean? You go through those stages and things, the process of these things, you're gonna learn. That's what the fuck this shit is all about. So that's number one. So it definitely coincides with leadership, because you should be problem solving already in your life when a woman comes in already. Like this should you know what I mean? It should. Here's the thing with a lot of dudes. They think they get a woman, well, I guess the woman gets them, but they get a woman and then they be like, yeah, now it's time for me to be the problem solver. Now it's time for me to be masculine. Now I got to be these certain things and do these things. So I think that's complaining, and I think it's definitely fear based. What was the second part of your question?
So now, the second part of the question would be, now, does this fall under the lines of being submissive in that relationship, as in terms of you have to be the problem solver obsessively? Okay.
Nah, cause like I said, if you have to be it, then you just weren't that. Cause if you have to, cause that's like you trying to play a position you never were. Now you trying to do tryouts and shit into this fucking shit, and that's not what this shit is about. Like, you're supposed to already be that. You're not supposed to have that shit. So most definitely, yeah.
Okay, now, gentlemen, before I move on, real quick, I just had it in my head. Give me 2 seconds.
Shout out to everyone in chat. I seen y'all put stars, by the way. I seen y'all put stars. Y'all shining. What's up with y'all? Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all.
Yeah, they're so proud of you, Isaac. I'm so proud of you.
Man, it's a grind, bro. It's I'm really honored to be here. You know what I mean? Because I've watched Ricardo.
I appreciate having you.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He dropped shit.
Many appear, and I want you to come. I want you to come on. This isn't just a one-time deal.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I genuinely appreciate like just even in the sense, like, damn, like, this shit is fire. So,
yeah, it is.
Like, I remember like years ago, me and my dog, like we just watched some videos. Lucario popped up and a whole bunch of other people, and I'm just like into being in this position. Yeah. I'm just grateful. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to soak it up. And
see how it's full circle? Yeah, you see how it's full circle? Lucario and them kicked it off, and then we're doing our own shows, and then they come on and show respect. Right. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the cool shit about it, and I love it. So, real quick, so I found it. So, gentlemen, would the men have to be problem solvers first before they actually get into a relationship is what I was getting ready to ask. I'll kick it off with Isaac.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Before looking for a woman, they should already have that intact.
Okay. Firstly, I don't think no man should really be looking for no woman. You know what I mean? Like, it just happens. You don't need to look for none. It just, you know what I'm saying? I think it's just natural. But of course you're going to have it. But I'm saying this carefully because I don't want guys to think that you got to be this 100% problem solver, and then you get into a relationship. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's what happens. Like, you develop problem solving skills as you go. Just like if you were in a job, your team lead, and then your manager, and then your AGM or CEO, whatever, how this shit goes. So I think it's levels to it, but you should definitely have decisiveness, skill set, leadership into that, because asking or saying to be in a relationship is also saying to take care of somebody else too, and have them added into your life. So that's what I think on that.
Definitely. Lucario.
What was the question again?
You should already come, because you talk about having the skills, the skill set, and it seems like it's not women first. So what I'm asking is, should men already be problem solvers before even thinking about a relationship or within themselves?
Oh yeah, no, I mean, well, definitely that has to happen, because you can't, be able to manage a situation with a woman in order to solve problems if you can't do that on your own. You know what I'm saying? It's impossible. So you would need to know how to be a person that does that in order to make that happen. So it's like this, like, you can't really give what you don't have. So what that means is that if I'm giving a certain skill or know-how to a situation with the woman, I can only do that if I have that skill. You see what I'm saying? So if I don't have the skill, which means I can't even do it with myself, then it's impossible for me to be able to do that with somebody else that I'm with. You see what I'm saying? So they definitely need to have it on their own from the jump. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Right. Gotcha. Yeah, appreciate that, gentlemen. Lucario, it's your favorite time. I take the sunglasses off. It's scenario time. All right, so there we go. Let me dim this real quick while we got a moment here. And guys, thank you so much for engaging and joining the chat. If you have any questions, hit that little icon, and we will answer them accordingly. So thank you guys so much for joining, and thank you, Isaac, for coming on for your first time, buddy.
Hey, it's lit. What's up with it? We here.
That's it. All right, so Isaac, you're gonna love this too. So I start playing in the character. Lucario starts laughing. So this is all the complaints that men have about women, okay?
Oh, this is going to be funny. Fuck, I hear it often.
I can't stand that she doesn't respect how my parents are very religious and instill their religious values in me when it comes to marriage and building a family structure. Lucario.
Wait, so who's saying that?
This is the guy complaining about the girl. She's complaining about his religious beliefs.
Okay, so he's complaining that she don't like his religious beliefs.
Correct.
Okay. I mean, well, the thing is, if he's dealing with a woman who's complaining about anything that she doesn't like about him, then she shouldn't be there at all. That's done. That's finished. That's over. So I think that type of situation needs to charge that to the game immediately. You see what I'm saying? Because you don't need any of that type of energy around him. Because the woman, she's supposed to be in support of what you're doing anyway. So if she's not in support of that, she got to go. She got to be gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Isaac.
So are we doing these things of like they're complaining, the woman's complaining, not the guy?
Yeah, no. So these are the men complaining about the women that they're in the relationships with. So the first scenario is he's complaining that his woman doesn't appreciate how religious he is.
Oh, man. In that scenario, I'm talking to buddy, I'm saying, Carlos, he talking to me, he telling me, I'm like, bro, why the fuck you still with her, dog? What you doing? Like, what we doing, bro? Like, you got too much time on your hands. Like, you got nothing going on in your life, and it's gonna be the same thing Lucario said. Cut that shit off. What you doing? A lot of guys try to change their mind. Like this, if she was with it, she'll be with it. If she not with it, she not gonna be with it, and it's gonna be in not subtle, but it's gonna be forms of complaints, disinterest, like whatever the fuck. So fuck that shit. I would tell, but he tripping. Swear.
Definitely. Appreciate it, gentlemen. Second scenario. I can't stand that she hates it. Every other Saturday we go to Five Guys for lunch. But not only do I like the food, but it's affordable. Lucario.
Wait, so he said
She can't
about Five Guys?
stand it. Every other Saturday we go to Five Guys. She wants to go somewhere else. But he likes going to Five Guys because not only is the food good, it's affordable.
It's crazy.
Right. That's funny. I just ate Five Guys earlier today. That's funny. But
it's pretty expensive, bro. Okay.
I mean, the funny part is all of these things that the guys are complaining about. The fact that they're complaining, he just did something wrong. Like again, the girl's supposed to be down, and the thing. See, this is the thing. You know what I've heard a lot of that women say, and I've heard this so many times. Women will say, you know, I will follow him, but I don't have to like what he's doing, but I'm gonna follow what he's doing. Like I've heard women say something to that effect. I'm just paraphrasing, but basically that's what it is, meaning that she may not necessarily like the Five Guys. That may not be her favorite place to go, but because he wants to do it, she wants to do it because it's about him. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
he's complaining, you know what I'm saying? It means that she is not really trying to do that, which means she don't really like him, so which means he need to just get rid of her.
Yo,
you know what I'm saying?
that's so spot on. Hold on, let me say something real quick,
No,
because
go
I was talking to this woman. It's actually on my live, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do something, even if I don't want to do it. I want to do it for them." And then she was talking about compromising, and I was like, "I don't believe in compromise." Thank you, exclusively, Crystal. I don't believe in compromising. She was like, "Is you tripping?" I was like, "Hell no!" Like, if I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. If I want to do it, I will fucking do it. So for you even to say, like I don't want to do it, but I'm gonna do it for them, is like it's like half-assed. I don't want no half-assed shit. The fuck.
I appreciate it. That's great. Here we go. I can't stand that now that we're in a relationship, but she's still in contact with her baby daddies. Isaac.
Damn, bro, they fucking. like that probably be my like off of intrusive thought. That would be the first thing like that. They fucking. I'll probably make fun of his ass because I'm like, are you serious? Like, bro, you have nothing going on. Like, if it's a difference if it's a thing of like, you know, they gotta do something with their family and shit. Like they gotta, I don't know, split the fucking bill every month or whatever the fuck that shit is, the child care or whatever.
Right.
So that's different. You know what I'm saying? If you gotta incorporate that in your life, you gotta incorporate that in your life. Hey, do you, bro? But you know, if that's what the thing is, it's like, damn, he probably fucking. You know what I mean? Like, hey, bro, just that's not it. That's not like it's a thing. It's just like, bro, let that shit go. Like, people. I was on Twitter, and somebody tweeted, "What's the most normalized addiction?" I just said complaining and gossiping. I'm like, that's like the most normalized thing everybody wants to relate to, because I'm even take it back from something Lucario said earlier. I forgot what it was verbatim, but it brought it back to the point of like relatableness. Like if I complain, I'm gonna get a horde of dudes who complain or don't get shit going on in their life or same things that going on. So it's like that tied into that, because people think to complain is good. Like that's the social norm. To complain is like to be relatable, is to fit in. And if you don't complain, but if you have good complaints, they're like, okay, you're tripping or you're not. So yeah, hey, they probably fucking her again. You know what I'm saying? So fuck it.
He's on the fucking Lucario on you.
So you said the guy's complaining about her talking to her baby daddy.
He's still in contact with plural baby daddies.
Well, the thing is, I don't understand why you would complain about it, because if you decide to date or relationship with a woman who has kids, that's part of the package, man. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna probably be in contact with her baby daddies and giving her child support and coming through to see the kids. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, thanks.
You know what I mean? And so you can't really. I think when guys, and you know, a lot of times in the manosphere, they be like, "Oh, don't date single moms" and all that other nonsense. I don't believe in that type of stuff. I really adhere to that. I think you can hook up, date single moms, and be with them and all that other shit and have relationships. But what you got to do is you got to understand what comes with that. So don't complain. You know what I'm saying? That she's talking to her baby daddy when that's what's supposed to happen anyway. You know what I mean? Just don't deal with her if that's the case. You don't want to deal with that. You know what I mean?
Right. I get you. All right, next one.
Let me.
Go
Can I
ahead,
say
Isaac.
something
Go
real
ahead.
quick?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You was about to get carried. My fault, bro. You
No,
know
go
what I'm
ahead.
saying?
You're good.
But it was something about the people, the dudes in the ministry. It's true they don't want to fuck single moms, but I'm gonna tell y'all, fellas, single moms know how to fuck. You know what I mean? So go ahead and get into that shit. I just got to put that out there because they really put that on there. But hey, do your
I'm in
thing.
a relationship with a single mother, so yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
they don't know. I can't stand that when we go out with her friends, she looks upon herself to talk about our sex life. She takes it upon herself, to talk about our sex life. Lucario.
Yo, all these things are so
Yeah.
funny because it's like this scenario of guys dealing with women who they don't have any influence or leadership, in the situation when it comes to women. Because if he has an issue with her talking about the sex life, then that means he hasn't had a conversation with her to let her know that, hey, when we out with your friends or whoever, don't talk about that stuff. So if he has an issue with it, he needs to let her know, hey, I don't want you to do these things. And I think, again, that comes from poor leadership, because part of being a good leader is being able to relay what is and isn't appropriate. You feel what I'm saying? And but you need to know yourself to understand what that is. So a lot of guys, they get caught out there and they're like, oh, she did this, I don't really like that. And that's fine. But then at that point, you got to say something so you could change the dynamic of the situation. You see what I mean?
Isaac, on you.
Why you out with her friends? That's the first thing that came. That's the first thing that came to my mind. Like, why you out there? Why you going out with friends? Like, I hope in this scenario, like maybe no, fuck it. I'm thinking the first scenario that came to my head was like, damn, like him and all her friends and they outside. I don't think you shouldn't even do that unless like there's an actual reason to do it. But yeah, no, I mean, again, just going on, if you're talking about my sex like public, especially if you're hitting that shit right, that's cool. You know what I mean? She bragging about that shit, but in general, just going off of if someone was telling me that, I'm like, bro, you need to put a cap on it. You need to say something. Be more discreet about the shit. Let her know that it's not okay to speak on the things that you don't like, you feel uncomfortable about. You know what I mean? Because a lot of guys don't want to speak up about what makes them uncomfortable, basically. Like, what's their rule? Let's say. Yeah.
Appreciate that, gentlemen. That was great. I can't stand that I moved in with her and she's got all these goddamn rules on how things are supposed to be run. Isaac.
That's tough, buddy. You living under her roof, so she gonna run your shit. You know what I mean? So that's what I gotta say. But the thing is, how are you even in that predicament? Like, what led to this point? I mean, if you're living with someone, that's their rule, so you're gonna have to listen to them, and you want to be there. Why are you complaining when you made a decisive decision to say, I wanted to be in this point, so this is what it is, and you're complaining about it, and that's what, I don't fuck with complaining and shit, but that's what that is.
Lucario.
Yeah, I think this is the funny part. So I told this story in Clubhouse. So I said that there was a girl that I messed with years ago, and I was over her crib, and she's like, "Oh, you gotta leave." It was at some point, so we was about to hook up, or whatever, and for whatever reason, she didn't want to do it, and then like she was like, "Oh, you gotta go, whatever." So now I left, and then I was like, "I'm done with this girl. That's a wrap." Now she hit me up again, and I basically told her like I'm good. So I think so. What happened was she thought that I didn't want to see her because we didn't hook up, but the real reason I didn't want to see her is because she told me to leave the crib. Right now, what happened was that I felt disrespected because I'm like, once I enter your house, that's my house now. That's basically I'm saying. That's
right.
how I look.
So this our time.
Right.
Yeah.
So is that even if a guy is living with the woman or the place that is her name on the lease and all that other stuff, the fact that she doesn't see you as the leader, right, is the issue, because the house shouldn't take precedent, or her owning the house or her having the lease shouldn't take precedent over her deferring to you as leader. You see what I'm saying? And so that's the problem with a lot of these guys. And so the complaints a lot of times comes from the fact that they have no influence, or they don't have that energy where the woman has the respect for the guy to understand that, hey, you know, I still listen to him. I still follow his lead. So if it's just her, if it's her house, you know, technically, it still shouldn't be where she's making the rules for him because he's still the man. Do you see what I'm saying? So it shouldn't have been like, well, because, you know, it's my house, now it's my rules. No, it should be, this is quote unquote my house, but because you're here, now this is yours. What is mine is yours because you're the man that I follow and I respect you. So I'm not gonna sit here and now try to flex this over you. And the reason why certain women do that is because when they're dealing with guys they don't respect, don't like, don't love, don't care about, they were only with these guys to use them, let's say even for their money if they had more money at the time, or they're there to basically, you know, just, you know, use them for other things, so they don't have respect for those guys. And then it's kind of like that's where that situation arises, because now she's like, well, I have the money now, so now because I have the money, I'm gonna be the one running the stuff. Because a lot of times in her situation, she may be dealing with the guy who has money, but she doesn't really like him, so she just deals with him because he has money. You see what I'm saying? So it becomes a money thing versus who the person is type of thing. You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
You know what's real about that too is that, like, that's why a lot of guys think the looks, money, and status thing is a big thing, because they think that having that money, like how you talking about Lakari, like having that house or whatever, like the materialistic thing is what creates this, like, the leadership or like the way to lead into the masculinity. That was an incredible perspective. I didn't even see that. That was nice as fuck. That was fire as hell.
That's it.
God damn.
Sidebar,
sidebar
real quick, Lakari, I got to send you a video that's going to blow your fucking mind. It's about the whole Andrew thing. I'll text it to you. You're going to be like, holy shit. I just remembered in my head. All right, last scenario, gentlemen. I cannot stand just because she co-signed my car and she's driving it more than me. Lacaria.
See, again, it's the same, like, this is same situation type of thing. It's unfortunate that a lot of these guys, because they're weak, you know, this is where a lot of the complaints like that will come from. And this is why women will sort of, you know, treat them in those ways. You know what I mean? So the thing is this, is that I think this is what guys got to understand. When you're acting this way, you're complaining to women, you're being weak and all this other stuff, right? When women see this, it is weird and also like sad and hilarious at the same time, because from her perspective, you should not be that, you shouldn't be weak in comparison to her, because you're the man. It's almost like if you drove me out to the freaking jungle and kicked me out your car and there's a big ass lion, right? I should be scared. But imagine I see the lion and the lion is scared of me. I'm be like, what the fuck? This lion is scared of me? Like, what is going on?
Right. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And it's gonna be, and the way I interact with the lion is gonna be way different than people would expect, because the dynamic is a whole different thing now. So same thing with women, is that these guys who complain, the complaining within itself makes you look less of a man, which makes her respond to you differently. You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Isaac, on you, buddy.
My first thing was like, is she getting groceries for you? Like, that's my first thing. Like, I would have said that in a scenario, like, she like getting groceries for you? Like, what's she doing? She picking you up and shit? Like, what she, you know, what she got going on, man? But even if she just does that, you know, I think a big thing that goes back to is that only women do what you allow them to do. So if she, and here's the thing, that women love weakness. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be real about it, and that's okay. And that's okay if women love weakness, because they can smell that shit and they can be like, okay, I can get this, that out of him. I can take his car. I can take his keys. I can do what I want. I'm a walk outside, look nice as hell, be like, all right, I'm going outside. But I had to go to the game. Yeah, you can find your way over there. That's basically how that, you know, that's how these scenarios goes. But even to peel back the layer of, you know, that surface thing, is just that there's a dominance that she's taking in, and there's no structure, and there's no dominance in yourself. You're allowing these things to happen. There's something weak within yourself.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, thank you so much. We're going to wrap up with this last question, and then you guys can drop all your social medias and platforms and all of that other great shit. Thank you so much for coming on the late hour, and thank you for the chat room and people that have been supporting the show on a daily basis. So, last question, gentlemen. Is this generation of men doomed for leading the next generation that'll be coming up? And how can real men separate themselves from all this disruption, distractions, and chaos? Isaac?
No, it's not doomed, because you got people like ourselves, and what can separate the men now, if you're listening to this, or when you listen to this, what can separate you is taking action in your life and have your own intention in this world. Focus on what you want and push that motherfucking narrative. And I'm not talking about like the voices you think that's yours or your environment or how you grew up. I'm talking about like you and what you want and this shit. So hell, that's what I think can separate you. It's taking the action for yourself, discipline, strategy in your life, influence who you are, motivate yourself, have the self-motivation, and just push that shit forward.
Appreciate that. Lucario, are we doomed?
No, I wouldn't say doomed, because, you know, there's still cats like us, like you're saying, doing what we do to bring a message that real people could gravitate to, relate to, and actually make things happen. So the thing is that, you know, it doesn't need to be a lot of, you know, men, and it's not going to be a lot of men. It's going to be a lot of males, a lot of weak, goofy dudes, but it doesn't need to be a lot of men, because what happens is that, you know, at the end of the day, there are going to be men who lead, and the rest are just going to have to follow. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with following, because we need followers just like we need leaders. You can't have one without the other.
Mm-hmm.
So some are just going to have to fall by the wayside, and those guys are just going to have to deal with what they deal with. So I always tell people this, is that, you know, you get what you deserve. So a lot of times what happens is that when we even talk about complaining, right?
Mm-hmm.
A person who's complaining doesn't realize what they're complaining about is exactly what they deserve. Because if you deserved better, you would have better, and then you wouldn't be complaining. You see what I'm saying? So the is resisting understanding that what you have is what you deserve, because that's where that's what you've worked towards. Like, you've worked towards the position you're in, and then you sit there and say, damn, well, I don't like this. And what happens is that you complain about it because you don't like it, but you don't realize that's what you deserve, because if you actually were better, you would have better. You see what I'm saying? It's really that simple. So if you want better, you just got to be better. And the thing is that they don't realize that instead of being better, they just want to sit and complain instead of just actually being better. And then if they were better, then they have nothing to complain about. You see what I'm saying?
Wonderful. Great. Fantastic. Love it. Gentlemen,
shit.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Isaac, let them know if you got mixtapes, albums, your podcasts. Let them know where they can find you, buddy.
Well, if y'all already know, because I've seen y'all already be in my lives, but if you don't know, I'm Young Izzy of Weird Evolution out on YouTube. Izzy Cartel, all platforms musically, you know what I'm saying? No Excuses out now, Stunner out now, you feel me? But you know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody. Thank you again, Boxing Plug. Thank you, Russell. I appreciate you. Shout out to you, Lucario. It's fucking amazing to be here. So yeah, that's it. Young Izzy of We Are Evolution. Get with the all-star lifestyle. Coming to this side where we break the motherfucking rules.
Definitely. George, you got to ask your question quick, because we're getting ready to sign off. So put it in the icon real quick before we roll out. You got a couple seconds. Lucario, go ahead.
Yeah, man. Just, you know, shout out to both of y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody in the chat rocking with us. And guys, go to badboymembership.com, masculineidentitymembership.com. Make sure you check us out. The Game Kings documentary is coming out in October. So make sure you guys, you know, be on the lookout for that. And yeah, man, that's pretty much it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Appreciate it. Well, George, if you didn't get your question, buddy, you're going to have to do it on the next show. Gentlemen, I'm sorry. I don't want to hold you guys up. You guys got weekends. Fantastic weekend, Lucario. Fantastic weekend, Isaac. Isaac, we're going to have you fucking back again, brother.
Let's fucking do this shit.
Let's do it, man.
Let's do it.
Y'all stay safe and have a fantastic weekend.
All right, bro.
All right,
peace.
All right, Lucario. Isaac, peace. All right, guys, that was the man panel again. We shut it down. Isaac, Lucario, boom, came in, shot fire for 40 minutes. Appreciate it. Guys, thank you so much. We hit over about 26 viewers. Not bad. We love this. The show keeps growing and growing and growing. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for the new followers I just saw. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate all the love and support. Guys, have a fantastic weekend. Stay safe. And what do I always say? Take care of one another. I'm out. Have a wonderful weekend.